I meant to get in early, but I was.
Hey, let's go. Welcome back to the show this evening as we look at some early season overperformers versus their ADP, some of the top dudes. Who's going to keep it going? Who's going to fade back to the median? But before we get to that, and our who's not, who's hot, who's not, go get, cut them segments, we begin the show by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Still wearing the Bruin City despite the choke job Sunday. Hopefully better tonight.
Before you get into anything else, before you do anything else, get it out of your fucking system. Go ahead. Get it out of your system.
Okay.
Come on. Go ahead. Get it out of your system.
Fine. Look, I absolutely think it's appropriate for me to be referred to as Mr. First Place for now. I think that's fair. I think it's a well-earned moniker. And the standings would bear that out. So anyway, on behalf of Mike, Mr. First Place is telling you that you're looking live.
Not on behalf of Mike.
This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 83. You can tell who's in first place in our league and who is
Mike will speak for himself. Thank you.
Part of our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network. One of us is a little salty as he was passed in the standings last night. Though it's early, but I'd rather be where I am than where I was last year at this time, which was preparing for the draft. What up?
Before I tell you what's up, now that we got you, I know you hate to gloat, so I just want, and I know how shy you are about that.
I'm not gloating. Look, I told you in a text the other day, I don't want to be just known as eye candy. Okay, there's a brain that goes up here. Okay, it's part of it.
Eye candy, like the razor blade in the apple that your mom told you not to take at Halloween, like that kind of eye candy.
It's all part of
it. Follow us at the Ball9 Network on our YouTube channel. Hit the like button on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, please, on the YouTube channel. Follow us at our X account, our Facebook account, our Instagram account. We're on the socials. We're on the everywhere. And speaking of everywhere, every player on my roster is not. This is what I was worried about. I'm right where I was worried I was going to be. I knew that, like, when you look at the standings and you look at categories, you're like, one 2 day stretch where I don't have any starters and somebody's got 5 starters in 2 days. I'm going to get passed in strikeouts, and I might get passed in wins, or I could get passed in saves. Like, and my team batting average, I'm Kyle Schwarber for sure. I knew that it wasn't sustainable, but now, like one bet, I should just close my eyes, do what I usually do, get to Memorial Day, realize I need to do something, and have a giant fire sale and fuck my entire season up. That's what I got a pretty 30-something year track record of doing that. So I figure why not? I mean, maybe that's the direction I go. I did think in our head-to-head league last week that I was going to be the first owner ever to have a negative score for a week. But every one of my pitchers basically decided to become Don Gas Can Carmen and just imploded. My 2-start pitcher, Mike Burrows, not helpful at all.
Yeah, it's funny. You brought up the standings, and yes, Mr. First Place is here. I'm not looking at categories right now. It's too early. It's April 21st. But for me, being a reactive owner,
you are that
tends to get
based on the fact that you called yourself Mr. First Place. That's a pretty big reaction.
No, I was actually called that by a fellow owner today as well, Todd.
No, he did not.
No, he actually did.
He didn't.
He did. I called him. He said, "Hey, Mr. First Place, how are you?" I said, "I've been hearing that all day."
Every place I go.
Every place I go.
It's like, "Hey, Mr. First Place."
It's in my head. It's just not going away. If he chimes in here, I'm going to ask him in the chat, did he or did he not refer to me to that without hearing that from me? But anyhow, I need to get off to a good start because I tend to get really, really pissed. And I'll gut my team. Last year, I tried to be patient until May 9th, the ill-fated Mother's Day conversation with my wonderful bride at 6 a.m. when I was just pissed off. So, yes, I need to
Good
get off to a
timing.
good start for peace of mind.
It's good timing to do it on. It's a good time. It's good timing to do it on Mother's Day.
Yes. Good
When
evening.
you got two twin boys running around your house, and the whole day
Sure.
should entirely, every second should be about her. But nope, you wake up in a bad mood because you realize you took a closer in the first round, and that was the peak of your season.
It was about Cody Bellinger and Brandon Nimmo specifically, but
I think Mother's Day is when I acquired Cody Bellinger.
yeah, it was a fire sale at that point, so I had enough.
I will give you some credit based on the last week, and a couple of these guys we're going to talk about as we go through our who's hot, who's not, and who to add and who to cut. Not with the exception of Mason Miller, who's being discussed for Cy Young.
Yep.
I mean, it's fucking April 21st. Can we stop? He's been great. He's been unbelievable. He's been as great as you can possibly be. There's no doubt about that. However, Diaz is going to be out for a long time. Munoz has a +7 ERA.
Yep.
Duran all of a sudden wakes up with an oblique issue.
Iglesias is on the DL.
Iglesias went on the DL. Good for them that they got Suarez in their bullpen.
Any pitchers can get hurt. Okay, anybody can get hurt.
Devin Williams, complete implosion.
Relievers are so fickle from year to year.
You know who the second best reliever in baseball is right now?
Who's that?
Is Riley O'Brien.
Really?
He still hasn't given up an earned run.
Wow.
He just doesn't strike three people out he doesn't strike people out. Nobody strikes people out like Mason Miller. Nobody.
And we had go back to our draft. Now that he had 5 of the first 12 picks, but Gasper took Munoz and Diaz to end those 5. And that's been a disaster. I had 1 lapse on the relieving thing, and that was last year. But I've been that way for over 20 years. When I saved John Smoltz after 52 save season, he got hurt and was done for the year. I'm like, that's it.
Hunter Green getting hurt got me to rethink everything, and I saved Johan Duran, and now he's hurt. Yep. And they suck anyway, so he's not getting any save opportunities. It's the same. I mean, it's one thing for Devin Williams to suck, but they suck worse. So when you're on a 12-game losing streak, there are no save opportunities. So you're pitching, and I mean, it's just Cade Smith has not been great at all.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy, and it is early, and it'll settle down. Lucas Erceg now, like what's going on with him? Like
yep.
it's the pain of not having holds as a category in a league amplifies the pain of your closers being shit.
Well, you know what?
Because you can survive for a week and say, you know what? I'm going to pitch Giovanni Soto for a week in my lineup instead of Dennis Santana because he's been okay-ish, but Soto's been lights out. And I'll take the holds this week and I'll pile them up in Roto or in head-to-head. I'll take the points. Anyway,
I did that in head-to-head. I had 1 closer. It's Jeff Hoffman, and he sucks. So I went with middle guys this year. I would love to in our league revisit the saves plus holds. Last year I tried to push it through. Couldn't get any buyers, but maybe after another disastrous year with closers.
Jeff Hoffman's given up the most homers in baseball since opening day of last year.
Really? That's a staggering stat for a closer.
They made it to the World Series with him as their closer.
Wow. All right.
It's crazy. So last week we talked about the top 20 in ADP, and again, it is early. We're 23 games in, 24 games in, 21 games in. So we're an eighth of the season into the season, and it is still early. And amazingly, the weather has been very cooperative, so we haven't missed very many games.
No, we haven't.
It's amazing. So we talked about where the top 20 sits and today versus where they were in the top 20 ADP. And we just thought we would just highlight a few players and where they are. So the ADP is in the center column, and the current CBS Sports ranking is on the right-hand side. And I mean, obviously, I'm going to blow my own horn a little bit about Jose Soriano because I was all over him. He's a number one ranked player in CBS.
That's crazy.
He's number one. Neither of us wanted anything to do with Christian Walker. No, we're not. Nobody's taking Christian Walker. Right now, I wish I had him instead of Vinny Pasquantino. I hope I don't by the end of the year.
He's got to start hitting.
But Landon Roop, who you're going to talk about a little.
I'll talk about later. He's towing the rubber tonight at home against the Dodgers. I'm hoping for the best. He's the newest member of Team Pugsley, and I put him right in my lineup.
I mean, Parker Messick, who I couldn't stop picturing Mickey Lolich in my head when he was throwing that no-hitter the other night.
I wanted him to get that. He got a little roughed up tonight, but he's hanging in there. He's down 3-2. He's out of the game.
I get it with rookies. I get it with McGonigal, and I get it more with McGonigal than I do with Weatherholt, because it was clear with Weatherholt from the beginning of spring training that he was going to have a job on that team, and he was breaking camp. And McGonigal, it wasn't until later.
Yeah. Didn't Weatherholt
so generally the 200-ish? That's usually a good round, unless it's Roman Anthony, right? Because he'd already had some glimpse, and you'd already got a chance to see him. But I mean, it just like what this proves is all of us in this cesspoolish world that we live in on a daily basis, year round now, it's not even during baseball season, we get so wrapped up in how do we get these top 20, 40, 60, 80 guys on our roster because they're going to make us win, and that's what all of the focus is on. And we forget that this group of guys, and I had Max Muncy in there, your Max Muncy,
love him,
who's like 61 in CBS Sportsline, and he was in the 230s. Now he does have 7 homers and 8 RBIs, which is an incredible stat given the fact of the lineup that he plays in.
You know what's funny about those 7 homers? They've come in 3 games. 3-homer game and then two homer games over the weekend.
Yeah, you're right. The big man is in disguise tonight. He's got his OJ disguise handle on tonight.
Yeah. What obsessed me about Otto Lopez is he's not playing second base. Now, our league rules allow me to play him there. I just need him to kind of hold that place till Jackson Holiday hopefully comes back and becomes productive.
Yeah.
But Lopez has been fantastic.
In many leagues, in many leagues, he's a second baseman all year.
Yep.
And no matter, because he had 5 games, because everything's based on last year. We made a decision many years ago, far over 20 years ago, probably closer to 30 years ago, that you needed to play that position in the upcoming season for
yes.
It's bounced around a little bit. COVID had some impact on it, but I mean, it's 20 games or you're not eligible in that position. So like
Correct.
there are flexibilities for players that and we're the exception to the rule in that area.
Now, what Soriano? Where did you latch on to him? Because that was the get of the year so far.
So I had him last year. I had him at the end. I had him for a large part of the year last year. because somebody's got to be good on that team someday that throws a baseball. I mean, at some point, we can't keep going all the way back to Mark Langston and Frank Tanana from the last time they had a good pitcher. Like, we can't keep holding on to 1987 for the last time they had. Like, someday, somehow, some way, they're going to blind squirrel their way into finding a great pitcher. And he was really good last year. And then, as I say oftentimes, I hate all these advanced metrics, but a very, very small group of us in this little weird content world that we're in, we're like bouncing back and forth about Jose Soriano, like just bouncing back and forth. And one of the guys said his first pitcher to throw a no-hitter this year choice was Jose Soriano. And then one of the other guys started looking a little bit, like did a little bit deeper research. And then I did a little more research and like, this dude's good, man.
Yeah.
Like this guy's, all his stuff is really good. And he just didn't get any run support. So, I mean, I've watched, he's become like the 1B, like when he's pitching, as much as I don't particularly like to watch the Angels because.
Why would you?
It's just, I mean, you're just waiting for disappointment. Like such a high level of expectation that they're going to score 20 runs every night and they get 8 hits. And they get 1 hit in every inning, and they leave, 13 or over 13 with runners in scoring position, the same bullshit that they always do. And they lose 5-4 because they hit 4 solo homers. But I still watch him. I still watch his starts, and his stuff is he has electric stuff. Like, he misses bats. He's not wild, and that was a problem with him at the beginning of his career. So he's in the zone and he's around the zone. So he walks a few more guys than I wish he would, but he's not walking 6.
Yeah.
He's walking 2 or 3, but it's still 2 or 3 more walks than I would like to see. I mean, as opposed to Skeens, you just expect a perfect game every time he walks on the mound.
Is there anybody on this list you would think would regress? I'm a big Messick guy. There's a reason I drafted him in 2 leagues. A small sample size last year, 7 regular season starts. He's got it. He's got kind of a bulldog mentality.
Yeah,
he doesn't throw the ball all that hard, but he's a good pitcher, and he seems like he's mentally got it.
My first choice would be Keller.
Yeah.
Only because he's had 1 bumpy start. He's been pretty good for the Pirates, but his track record, he's got a longer track record. He and Christian Walker have the longest track record of anybody on this list.
Yes.
Otto Lopez was owned a lot last year. I mean, he found his way in and out of lineups a lot. Landon Roop, he added 2 more pitches to his repertoire in the offseason, which is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Like, adding 2 is a lot. And they're both working for him. And I think he's going to sustain. I don't trust the rookies that much, because the second time around, when we get to June, you never know. But from a dynasty standpoint, you can't give up on him. And I don't give a shit what Christian Walker's rating is right now. I don't care.
Yeah, no thanks.
I don't care. I mean, he's off to a tremendous start. Their whole offense is off to a tremendous start. They're the first team in baseball to lead the league in runs scored and be like 7 games under 500 after 22 games in the history of the league. They've also given up the most runs in baseball. So they have to score 10 to win. But everybody's favorite little person is having a phenomenal year. Jordan is blowing the ball out of the ballpark. He's hitting moonshot home runs, and he's fully healthy, and he's doing tremendous damage.
Jordan is the one guy. I've said him before about Jordan. He holds that bat if he's opposing a team I'm rooting for, he scares the crap out of me.
Oh yeah, he scares me. He scares me more than Judge. Only because he scares me more than Judge, and he scares me more than Ohtani. Only because Judge and Ohtani don't get a lot of pitches to hit.
Yeah.
So if they don't hit the one pitch that they get, and they usually do, but they'll also hit singles, and they'll also hit singles and doubles, and they don't care. He is trying to hit the ball 450 feet every single time he's at the plate. Him and Schwarber are the two guys that terrify me because they're the guy that'll beat you with a 3-run homer, where not that Judge and Ohtani won't, because they will beat you with a 3-run homer, but they're also like bigger lineup picture focused than those two guys in the way that they approach at bats. Where, like, hey, if it calls for a single and I just need to get a runner on base, both those guys will find a way to get out. As opposed to, Schwarber, they both walk because you can't pitch to them. You can't pitch. I mean, you pitch to them and you're going to get whiplash spinning around to see how far the ball went. I mean, Jordan's a StatCast darling. I mean, that dude.
Jordan, he's a big frame. He's to me, he's the Ortiz of this era.
Yeah, but he's not as far as we know, he's not cheating.
Well, that's true.
I said it, big man. I said it out loud. The gap-toothed cheating prick. It's in the Hall of Fame.
Anyhow.
Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. I wonder if he shot anybody else's girlfriend's husband this week. Come on.
Well, now.
I'm sorry. That went off the rails.
Don't hold back. Don't.
I guess I'm angrier about being behind you in the standings than I originally thought. That might have been suppressed anger.
There can be only one Mr. First Place.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
There can be only one.
Let's go to who's hot, who's not, as opposed to me. My blood pressure.
Pugsley's hot. I can tell you that. That's why you guys are all calling me Mr. First Place now.
Who's hot? I'll let you. I'm going to let you go first because
that is not a typo.
I didn't think you had it in you.
That is not a typo. The guy who a year and a half ago I declared had absolute zero fantasy value. Zero. Xander Bogaerts, welcome back to Fantasy Baseball Now. His last 14, he's hitting 300 with 6 runs, 3 homers, and 11 RBIs, which blows my mind. And he chipped in a couple of stolen bases too. I don't think it's going to last, but as they say at 518 Bookkeeping, numbers don't lie. And they don't lie. The man's on fire. Maybe he's justifying his place in Major League Baseball. So he's gone from 0 to the who's hot list, which means, kids, anything is possible in this life. Anything is possible.
Exactly. And speaking of anything is possible, I'm giving credit to an Oriole player. So, Jeremiah Jackson, not only is he's having a solid year, in his last 14, 319, 5 homers, 13 RBI, 7 runs scored, and he threw in a stolen base. He's second base and outfield eligible, so he gives you some flexibility. He's still only 68% owned and 55% started on CBS. He's created a little bit of a problem for them. Now you get no updates on. I mean, every update on Jordan Westburg is not good.
Same with Holiday.
And every update on Holiday is also not good. But at some point, they will both be back. And if he's hitting like that, he has to play.
Sure.
They can't afford to have guys not play that are hot. Because they're so not hot I mean, Gunnar Henderson in the last 2 weeks, 171.
Yeah, he's had some big hits, but yeah, he's slowed down.
And they signed Taylor Ward, moved the fences in so he'd hit 50 homers instead of 35, and now he's a doubles machine. He had his first homer of the year last night. Like, they moved the fences in for you, dude, and paid you a lot of money so you'd hit home runs, and you're Mr. Doubles now. Come on. It's got to be the Oreo thing. And
the Oreo way.
The Oreo way. And then we do a little Subway Series. We do a little Subway Series shout out.
Well, my Who's Cold guy has a home run tonight, I believe.
Because we're playing the Red Sox.
Of course. Prior to this evening, Giancarlo Stanton in his last 14 days was ranked 4,154th by CBS. Let me do the math.
That's not good, I don't think.
That's really bad.
I didn't know they ranked that many players, first of all.
I was astounded that he's ranked behind the single A guys. He came in tonight hitting 119, one homer. He doubled that tonight. 4 RBIs, 3 runs. Presumably he'll get it going, but 53% of CBS owners still have him active. They got that home run tonight, but man, I'd let him work it out on the bench. I wouldn't cut him necessarily, but I'd let him work it out on the bench.
They a little bit screwed themselves with sending Dominguez down and keeping Grichuk. And I get why they kept Grichuk, because Dominguez is, I can't believe how bad of a defensive outfielder he is at whatever he is, 22 years old. He's just terrible.
Yeah.
But, like, that's your alternative. Like, you DH Goldschmidt or Grichuk instead of Stanton. So and Boone's not going to sit him. Because when he does make contact, I mean, he dented the wall on a single in Yankee Stadium 10 days ago. I mean, when he does make contact, he hits the ball crazy hard. Speaking of making contact, a lot of people made contact on Devin Williams this past 2 weeks. Holy shit. Oh, my God. So 3 outings, 2 1/3 innings, a 2.33 whip and a 19.29 ERA.
Wow.
I got too many shares of Devin Williams to make me not throw up in my mouth just thinking about him. He's still 76% started.
That's crazy.
Like,
he's going to go down in history as the guy who got the Yankee facial hair policy returned over.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be the reason that everybody's begging him for them to get rid of it. Everybody was happy when it happened, and then they haven't won since they did it, and now that everybody wants them to get rid of it because it's Yankee fans are Yankee fans. It has to be that.
Got to be the facial hair.
Whoops, wrong one. I'm still stunned by that Xander Bogaerts.
It was really interesting typing it.
Now, we already mentioned Landon Root, but I'm going to let you spend more time on him.
He's owned in 67%, started in 34. I picked him up the other day, and I'll mention who I cut in a few minutes. It really just became a numbers thing, but Landon Root, he's got a homer tonight against LA. I played him this week because he's a 2-start pitcher. I chose him in his 2 starts over Nate Eovaldi, home to Oakland, who he pitched good against last week, but I'll take 2 starts against one. He's 3-1, 22 2/3, 24 strikeouts. I like that strikeout rate, and I'll piggyback to that in a few minutes. 2.38 ERA and the 0.97. He's not a surprise. He's been a highly regarded guy. He just hasn't fulfilled that promise yet. Maybe that's now. I'm interested to see how he does in about an hour or so when that game starts. But yeah, why not give him a shot and see how he does?
Just a quick Stanton update. It's 3-0 Yankees, and he's got all 3 RBIs.
Okay. But Roop, I'm surprised he's not owned by more than 67%, but even started by 34. I thought he would have earned.
I think But I do think if we could go back a week and look what his ownership was, I bet he's jumped at least 10% in the last week.
He probably has. And I understand when you're looking at matchups that you see the Dodgers, nobody wants to have their guys face the Dodgers because especially in a league where wins is a category, and if a loss is a negative, even worse. My logic is he's a 2-start pitcher. I want the starts. I want the strikeouts. So I'm going to go for it and see how he does.
He's been tremendous.
Yeah.
He really, I mean, he's been better than Logan Webb, who's not been very good.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. Robbie Ray's been fine, but he's been better than Robbie Ray. He's been their best starter, and that's pitching's not their problem.
No, they can't hit.
All of a sudden, they can't hit.
Good evening, Bob.
Hello, Robert. And my guy is one of my arch nemesis, Josh Jung, who got added back to the Gas House Gorillas today because third base is a hellhole for me. On the same day that the Mr. Glass came off the IL, Royce Lewis. But in his last 14 days, covering 37 at bats, 378, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and 6 runs. He's still only 45% owned at a position that's a major problem.
He was one of my key draft picks last year.
They didn't score a lot of runs last week. They had some tough games last week. And every time I looked at the box score, he was putting numbers up.
He was one of my big draft choices last year. He failed miserably. But I love the guy. He's a good, solid player, as you said, at a very weak position.
I mean, I hope he sustains it. They need him to. They're a bit of a mess, to say the very least. And then these two knuckleheads.
I was going to pick Romano. I'm glad you did.
I watched him. He's still owned by 46% of the, including the big man from Massachusetts, can't let go of him.
Yep.
I don't even know how to describe it.
He's the poster boy for failure. How's that?
When he's his Blue Jays self, he's really good. When he's what he's been since the Phillies signed him, I don't even know how he's in the big leagues.
He absolutely destroyed my team last year. Destroyed it.
I mean, he's got a 1.74 whip and a 7.11 ERA and 2 losses, and he does have 4 saves, and his strikeout rate's pretty good still. But man, like he just like walks and just fat ass meatball pitches, and when he is bad, he is really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like some guys work it out. Like David Bednar's like half a heart attack, but like he's not going to give you, he's going to make you sick to your stomach with his whip, but he finds a way to keep the game in line. Romano, when he comes off the rails, it is way off the rails.
Yeah.
They roll him out there. I'm really surprised. Reed Detmers had he had a terrible start. And I know there's a lot of love for Reed Detmers, and then his next start, he was phenomenal against the Yankees. And he's kind of like he'd be like Landon Roop. Like if a month from now, all of a sudden he had 5 or 6 great starts in a row, like we'd be saying the same thing. He's been hyped for a long time. You know, he's got a live arm. He was a great college pitcher. We've been waiting for this to happen. If he was their closer, they'd be in first place. Now, if he was their closer, that'd be probably he's probably made 5 starts. That'd be 4 less times that they probably would have got a chance to use him.
Yeah.
But Romano's cost him 2 games against the Yankees, and he did his best to blow a game. on the
I
weekend.
don't know how he's even in baseball. I mean, he sucks. He sucks.
He's really not very
Hate to
good.
say it if the Romano family's watching, but he sucks.
No. If the Romano family's watching, one of you needs to tell him. Somebody needs to be honest with him. Stop worrying about how much money he's making and how nice a life you have, and tell him he's bad.
I'm thinking
because the money's going to run out fast with him if he doesn't get his shit together. Just tell him.
I'm thinking the Bloomingdale's executive training program for him, like Kramer and Costanza had for Jerry. I mean, that's where I'm at with Jordan Romano. That's just me, and maybe Andrew Abbott can go with him because I stumped for this guy all winter, and I couldn't wait to draft him all winter.
Oh, the world was not, he was.
He couldn't get anybody out in March either, and you warned me about it, and I neglected to take your advice.
I'm glad you didn't.
24 and 2/3 innings, 32 hits, 11 walks, 15 strikeouts, which is just bad. 5.84 ERA, 1.74 whip, and the 28% of CBS owners must be in those leagues where there's no bench. That haven't started. 74 have them active. There's nothing about his performance to indicate that he's going to turn this around.
Maybe he was a 224 ADP guy, and that number was pretty level.
Wasn't he one of the guys when I said 224 was just way too low for him, and I'd pick him much higher than that?
Yeah,
when we did that show.
Yep,
he was on that list. He was, oh my God,
he was in the All-Star game last year.
He's making Mr. First Place wonder how the hell I got there, despite myself.
It does bring up an interesting thing though, because Hunter Green leaves the rotation, and now he's not pitching against the number 2 or the number 3 anymore. He's pitching against the number 1. So right off the bat, he's going to be in. If he's on, he's going to be in a pit. Logically, unless he's facing Garrett Crochet, he's going to be in a pitching duel every time he goes on the mound.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's. I mean, he's not on the IL, so it's not physical. I wonder if it's just mental, like he's just pressing so hard, thinking that he's the de facto number 1 starter. Though Chase Burns and Rhett Lauder are both pitching far better than him, and Brady Singer of all friggin' people. Brady Singer almost made my list, and I said I'm not doing it. I'm not putting my name on. I'm not attaching my name to him. I'm not. I will on a slide like this. That's for sure. I will never be the guy to say go get Brady Singer because I.
All right, looking ahead.
I don't want my postal carrier dropping off a burning bag of dog feces on my front porch. Postmarked Wednesday. Looking ahead. There it is. Wow. Still looking for a producer. Couldn't help yourself. I tried to find a Sacramento A's logo, but
there isn't one because they don't acknowledge it. So I wrote Oakland.
Oh no, the AAA Sacramento's the AAA Sacramento's A's logo does exist, but not in a format that is conducive to this tremendous graphical work that our graphics department has done.
Now the A's in their shit ass AAA stadium sell the team next week. Kurtz is starting to hit. Butler's starting to hit. Langoliers has been hitting. It's a team that's going to score runs throughout the year. Kansas City's 24th in team ERA, and Matt Quatraro might get fired before Carlos Mendoza. I mean, the Royals don't know how to play.
I mean, upset, but I do think that's going to happen.
I mean, they don't know the first thing about fundamental baseball or pitching, and they have been the biggest disappointment of the AL to me, I think.
We
And
both
Cleveland's
picked them, we
18th in
both
the
picked them
ERA.
to win the division, and they've been very
Yep.
bad.
Cleveland's ERA isn't much better. Love the A's having a 6-game homestand next week. Again, when their bats are starting to pick up. Kurtz has homered in 2 straight nights, and Butler's actually starting to put some stats on the board. And the other guys are actually playing pretty well.
Yeah, Jacob Wilson started to hit for
Yep.
sure, and we knew that was going to happen. And then for me, the aforementioned Angels, I do like the matchups. I like anybody that's facing the White Sox. Their lineup is a little scarier than it's been in the past, but they still can't pitch to save their lives.
Thank you, Bob.
And until the Mets prove that they can actually win a baseball game, and they were winning 3-0, and now it's 3-2. Off Nolan McLean of all people, who does have 9 strikeouts, but he has given up a couple of runs. In the 6th, Byron Buxton with a home run. I like anybody against the Mets right now, so I do like the matchups, and of course I throw Steven Matz on here, and more so just because he's only 58% owned. He's a 3.80 ERA, 103 WHIP. He's a strikeout an inning guy. He's been pretty good, and then he goes out and gives up 4 runs in 4 innings tonight.
Of course,
because I should learn my lesson with anything to do with Tampa, putting anybody on here, because whatever I say is the opposite. Because I clearly can't figure them out, never have been able to. But I like to start against Cleveland, and I certainly like a start against San Francisco.
Yep. For me, I screamed last week about let Chad Patrick pitch.
Yeah.
To Pat Murphy. The next night, last Wednesday, he goes out and gets 6 2/3 really good innings. He was on my team. He was on my bench. I cut him on Sunday when Landon Roop became available. Why? Look, Chad Patrick he's got a decent chance to win his games. He's on a good team. His ERA and WHIP are elite. But for some reason this year, his strikeout rate is atrocious. He had 2 Ks last week. He had 9 strikeouts in 19 innings this year.
Wow.
That's tough. He's got Arizona at home, at Washington. He's a decent 2-start option if you're looking to fill out your rotation, because he's gonna give you a whip in the ERA, and they got a good shot to win both those games.
Yeah.
You may get 3 categories out of him. You're not going to get the strikeouts. I can't figure that part out. That's just an amazingly low number. But that said, he's a rosterable player. I had numbers and logistics, and who do I have to cut to get Roop, and it had to be him.
And when I saw you cut him, I was going to pick him up.
Yep.
And then I read a story about Zach Wheeler, and I'm like, well, he's coming back this week, so there's no point.
Yep. No, Patrick's a solid pitcher.
I mean, I'm not going to pick up somebody that I'm just going to, it's wasteful of just, and it happens, right? I'm going to pick somebody up. So I'm going to pick this guy up so somebody else can't, but I'm guilty of it, and it's not the right way. It doesn't help you win when you're more worried about other people's rosters than your own. It definitely does not help you win. Drake Baldwin has another home run tonight.
Yes, he does.
Curse you. Now,
last year, just for context, Patrick had 119 2/3 innings. He struck out 127.
Yeah, to go from 1-1 to 1 to 0.3.
That doesn't make sense.
That's not good. That doesn't make sense.
You would think that the peripheral stats are still good. His ERA is 0.95. His WHIP is 1.16. That's still fine. You would think the strikeouts would come. I don't know what's going on.
Look, there's a lot of pitchers nobody knows what's going on with. Like, what's going on with Garrett Crochet? Like, what's going on?
The big man says he thinks he's hurt. Not hurt, but something's just not right.
Well, it'd be the same thing. Like, you could say the same thing about Logan Webb. Like, they're so not themselves and what you're used to seeing with them that it's an easy. It is an easy place to go. That, like, there's just something not right.
Is it that it hasn't been? You said it before. We're not getting rainouts and snowouts and whatnot.
No.
And the weather, I mean, we've been freezing our ass off here in Albany. Like last week, we had a couple nice 70 and 80-degree day, but we're back to 30s and 40s, and maybe that's it, and they'll just come around.
Yeah, I like to call it menopause weather. It was
Is
90,
the World Baseball
it was
Classic.
90, and then it was 40.
Did the WBC throw some of these guys off?
Yeah, but Crochet didn't pitch in the WBC. Webb did.
Webb did, yes.
But the way that they limited innings and the way that the teams, the way that teams were so involved, teams and agents were so involved, and I mean, it did not make Mark DeRosa's job any easier.
Yeah, that's true.
That you can't pitch him on this day, you can't pitch him on that. Like what all that stuff that they had to deal with, they protected those pitchers as best as they possibly could, and the innings limit forced that to some extent. But it didn't. I mean, okay, they weren't facing, double A guys the second time through the lineup when they were getting 70 pitches in. They were facing major league hitters for the most part that were competing at a high level. But I would think that would be beneficial. That would get them in a regular season mindset sooner.
I agree.
So they would come out of the gate a little bit faster. And there's not a lot of guys that played in the WBC that got off to a great start.
Yeah. It's interesting, and they have to do that. Otherwise, teams aren't going to make players available.
Right. And we're going to have to deal with it with the Olympics in 2 years.
Yeah, I don't see that happening somehow. I don't know how they do that.
I don't either. It would be easy for the U.S. to say we're just going to take college guys.
Yeah.
And they would field a really good team. I mean, it'd be all, a bunch of first-round draft picks over a 3-year period. But then somebody that qualifies like Puerto Rico or Brazil or Venezuela that qualifies for the Olympics, and all of a sudden all their guys want to leave their teams and play in the Olympics. When you're the host country, it puts a different level of pressure on you.
Sure.
You can't lose your own game.
Yeah.
On your soil in the Olympics.
No, you can't.
I mean, it'd be like basketball losing in LA. Like if men's basketball lost in LA, it would be the second worst loss in basketball history. 76 Montreal is still a screw job of all screw jobs, but it was a wake-up call. I mean, it's certainly bigger than, losing in the Olympics is worse than losing in the WBC because you're in season.
Yes.
You're in season, you're playing. So I don't know how they're going to handle it. I don't know what they're going to do about it. I know hopefully Manfred will be gone by then. So he won't be the one that's got to make a decision about having the season go until January 1.
He can leave now.
At neutral site dome games for all playoffs so that there's no weather issues. That's a stupid thing he would think of. The fact that I thought about it is dumb, but that makes me believe that it was something that he probably already thought of.
Probably true. Because he's a tool. All right.
He is that. Next week, we'll talk about something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. Baseball.
Maybe one of us, since we've swapped it from last week, maybe one of us will still have this moniker, or we'll have the production team leave this graphic. Or maybe I'll widen the lead.
Maybe you will.
We'll see. We'll see. Do we give a trophy for first place on April 21st?
We don't, but I have a feeling you're going to put that poll up after we get done.
Maybe we will.
We do like owner of the month. Maybe that's what we'll do. April won't be over by then. I was thinking about that. Maybe that'll be the first week in May. We do our fantasy player and pitcher of the month from each league, and our fantasy dud and PUD from each league.
We could do that.
We'll We'll call some guys out.
All right. Oh, I got one more thing for you. By the way, Fernando Mendoza, welcome to the Raider Nation. Who are the Jets going to pick? Is it Reese or Bailey?
I think they're going to take Reese.
Okay.
I do. I can't get Vernon Golston out of my head.
Yep.
So Reese scares me in that regard. Bailey would be a safer pick.
Yeah.
But Reese is a 3-down player and Bailey's not.
Okay.
And curse the Giants for making that trade.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I mean, they could end up with Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs.
To me, that would
my
be
favorite players coming into this draft.
I think Caleb Downs is a Hall of Famer, and
I agree. You can't take him at 2. I'd take him at 2.
I would take him at 2 also. You can't have enough good football players. I don't care.
He's the best football player. He's the best all-around football player in this draft.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
And they're going to be saying, and next year when Jeremiah Smith comes out, no matter the 8 million quarterbacks, Jeremiah Smith's the best football player coming into the draft next year.
Absolutely.
And
book that now.
You can't swing and miss on guys at 2. Having 14 helps, but like I want a day one starter. I want a day one starter. I don't want to, we really like him and we're going to bring him along and he's going to get more snaps week by week. I don't want that right now.
No. And you don't want to hear he's a great athlete, but he's a project as a football player.
I don't think he's a project as a football player.
No, not Downs.
No, Reese. I think Reese is more of a developmental edge rusher. He's not a project as an outside line as an outside linebacker, like a in coverage. He's not a project of that at all.
But you're going to put him down.
But you're gonna put him off the edge and working on technique against some half-assed offensive tackle from Youngstown State is not the same as working on technique in the NFL. Because the worst left tackle in the NFL is the best left tackle in college football.
Yeah, if I was the Jets, I would take Downs all day. I don't care about his position.
If honestly, I would trade out of there. I would try to get Tennessee to bite.
Yeah.
I would try to get Tennessee to bite and go from 2 to 4 and pick up and try to get the 3rd round pick that we don't have back. And then at 4, see what the tea leaves hold. And if at 4 you're in love with Tate and you want the wide receiver, you can take him at 4 and nobody's going to say boo.
Yep.
Because you won't be there at 14.
No Ty Simpson. I've been after Orlovsky on Twitter for 2 weeks now, saying if he's so goddamn good, why don't you have him going number 2 to the Jets? Dan Orlovsky went on TV today, and all he talked about was Ty Simpson, how great he was, and he showed the stats for the first 9 games. What about the last 6? They count 2.
I swear to God, if he gets taken by the Jets in either of those 2 first-round picks, I'm going to lose my mind. I may drive to Pittsburgh and punch somebody in the face.
Dante Moore went back to college because mostly he has less than 20 starts in college, and he wants to develop more and get more experience. 20 is the number with college quarterbacks. Simpson has 15.
There's 2 out of
reps.
So many, right? There's 2 college quarterbacks with less than 20 starts that have had any modicum of success in the NFL. And they were both taken in perfect positions. They were taken to teams that were already ready to win.
Yeah.
The Jets aren't ready to win.
No.
The Jets aren't ready to win. Like, I'm not as high. I am. Mendoza's the best quarterback in this class. There's no doubt. It's not even close. It's not even remotely close that he's the best quarterback in this class. I just don't think he's going to be that good.
Hey, I don't think he's going to be all pro. I think he's going to have a good career.
I think he's a higher start point version of Kenny Pickett. I think his ceiling's I think we've already seen it. That's what scares me about the way that the desperation to have a franchise quarterback and the way the NFL is designed right now is that if this was 30 years ago, Mendoza might be the 5th or 6th pick.
Maybe.
I mean, the Raiders might be taking Downs number 1 or Bailey number 1.
Yeah.
Or one of the tackles, or Jeremiah Love might be going number 1. Now, they don't need him because they've got Genty, but like he very well could be the number 1 pick in the draft. He's that talented. He's probably the 2nd best player in the draft.
Absolutely. He is a beast.
If Tennessee loves him that much and they want to make sure that somebody doesn't jump in front, and the Cardinals are rumored to be taking him now, they want to make sure the Cardinals don't get him and the Jets can go down to 4, do it.
Yeah.
We need players, man. Raiders, same thing. We don't need one guy. We need 10.
We need some dudes.
Don't trade pick. Don't trade up. Pile up picks.
Yep.
Pile them up. Don't trade. Don't make the mistake of trading up. Don't do it. I mean, the Giants are in if they were in love with somebody, they're in a tremendous position.
Yeah.
Cowboys are in a good position too. If they're in love with somebody, the draft is deep. It's a really good draft. I mean, you look at the 2-round knocks. There's great players up and down. Corners super deep. Yeah. Offensive line is deep. I mean, there's really good players in this draft, just not good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's a quarterback. I mean, I saw a mock today with the Jets taking Drew Aller in the 4th round. I'd be fine with that.
I like Drew Aller.
Got a big arm. I don't think he's the brightest bulb in the Christmas tree, but because he makes some crazy mistakes, but they all do. They all do.
All right. Well, on that note, we are back next.
We'll be back. Well, yeah, we'll be back. One of us might be wearing our NFL team's jersey if we're happy with how the weekend went, and then the other one will be me.
Don't go lock yourself in the closet like you did the year they took Jeff Lageman. Okay,
I did the Grandpa Simpson, walk into the bar, turn right around, walk back out.
That was painful to watch. We're giving you hourly wellness checks.
I know. Andre Rison wouldn't have helped, not one bit.
The Jets took Jeff Lageman, and my thought was, I heard the Raiders will get him in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
off you went.
Yep.
All right.
I'm like, here we go, Andre Rison, Jeff Lageman, Virginia. Who the fuck is that? Right back around.
Hey, next week.
Hey.
Later.
Let's go Yankees.